right, good morning, fig people. This is Troy at Fig and Fruit Nursery and Orchard, and we got to get our day started here on the fig farm. And the first thing we do on a day like today is uncover. We got down to 32 degrees last night, and I was checking stuff this morning, and it was showing 42 in these boxes. So that makes a big difference when you're trying to wake your fig trees up early on. All right, let's see what else we can get into today. All right, so I'm making up some dirt here that I put in my pots when I'm potting up or topping pots off. This white stuff on top of here is perlite. It's been wetted. I would recommend, if you buy big bags of perlite like this, like I do, that you soak these things down real good before you even open them, because this stuff is really dusty. But if you soak it down like that, there's no dust. So just soak them down. It ain't gonna hurt nothing other than keep you from breathing in dust. All right, so I got that in there. I put this pelletized gypsum in there, and then I also used this coastal calcium and poultry shell I put in there. And then this is the stuff I buy in bags. It either comes in a bag like that, or I don't look like I have any of the others. Yep, so it just largely looks like this. Maybe here I got some others. It comes in a little different bag too, but it all comes, yeah. No, I don't. It all comes from the same place down in Alabama. But I want to show you it's derived from a combination of pine fines, hardwood fines, forest product, and that says sand, but there's no sand in there. None of these have sand in them. I don't know why it says it has sand in it, but I can show you here that it's nothing but wood chip. So it has very little sand, and it's mostly just ground composted arbor waste. It's got the leaves and all that good stuff in it, so it makes for some pretty good stuff. And I just mix it a wheelbarrow load at a time. I put about 4 bags of that stuff, makes a real good wheelbarrow load, and mix it up good with a shovel and put it in some pots. Alright, you can just see I just dumped another bag on top of it just so I could show you again. Show it a little better. You can see there's really no sand in it. It's largely just ground arbor waste. Let's mix it up. Alright, so that's what it looks like after I get it mixed up good. Alright, let's go look at the trees we're going to put it on. Alright, here's a batch of trees we're getting ready to start on. Let's see what we got here. This is Galicia Negra, and it's just an extra 5 gallon to sale. I'm just going to add some dirt to the top of it. I don't really want to up pot it anymore because it's in a nice 5 gallon pot for someone. They come here and they want to buy a tree. Same way with this one. This is another Galicia Negra. Probably we'll just I'll cut this, and I'll cut this here off, this here off. I'm gonna leave this and add some dirt to it, and then if I still have this tree next year, I'll cut this off, and this will be the main tree. That'll give it a chance to grow. This one here is already done. That's Gambino. Here's Tina Pina. I'm going to up pot it. It's been losing some dirt, but it may get put in the ground here in about 45 days, but I'm just going to go ahead and up pot it. And I'll see what it looks like. I may or may not prune that off. Here's another Galicia Negra for the nursery, an extra. I'm just going to add some dirt to it. Maybe cut that off, and I'll take that in and root that. This is Parline Cream. I don't like this limb hanging out here. It's like this. I need to just cut this off, and this whole thing is this is a keep variety for me, so I need to go ahead and put it up in a 7 gallon, and that would be pretty good. Maybe cut a couple of these off and then don't do no more to it. This one back here is Texas BA1. This is a tree to go in the nursery to sell. I'm going to just, I kind of like it the way it's shaped. I'm just going to add a little dirt to it. Maybe prune these, a couple of these, like this one back here. I don't want it. Or this piece back here, I don't want it. This one back here, I don't really want it. Leave these kind of, get rid of this piece here. That way it kind of grows up like this. So we'll see how that works. Get rid of this little straggler here. We'll cut that out, make a tree out of that. All right, so that's what we're gonna do in here. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. We're gonna up pot this Parline Cream and prune it up a little bit. It's a 5 gallon. And we need to put it in a 7. I got a 10 set now here. That's for the Pina. All right, there's our 7. So really this just kind of, you don't want to put a whole lot in the bottom when going from a 5 to a 7. But I still got I like to put a layer on the bottom. just an inch. Oh, we need to get rid of this limb here. Say bye-bye. Make sure we label it so we can root it. Line cream. All right. I don't know. Do we need? I don't really. A couple bottom ones here. I don't really need them. This piece here is dead. See if this is damaged. Boy, I don't like the looks of that at all. I don't like that at all. Okay, now that I like. I can live with that. We're gonna have to do just a, let me get my razor knife. We'll do just a little bit more work on that. I don't typically, I don't like that dark, that brown spot right there. And if you cut this out of here like that, the way this is growing back in, let's get rid of it. Because it ain't doing no benefit either. You know, really don't need these here. 1, 2, 3. I'm good with that. Now, I want to put something on this here. This is the grafting wax. Man, I hope you can see this. Oh yeah. This is the grafting wax that I put on here. It's made of beeswax. We'll put that right over that. Put a nice cover over it. Really like this. Is of all the different stuff that I use and try, I'm starting to become pretty I like this probably better than anything I've used. Made in America grafting wax. All right, I'm not advertising, I'm just showing what I'm using. Let's put some more dirt in her. I've noticed that using the wax on them like that, and especially that one in particular, that when you cut something out like that, it will, in a year or so, it'll heal up. And it won't compromise the rest of the tree. But if I've bought all kinds of paints and tried all kinds of different putties, and somebody here a while back said use wood glue or Elmer's glue, and I'm running some tests. I've been doing some of that. I'm trying it out, but for right now I'm going to show and do what's been working. So there's a 7-gallon up potted and ready to go. Let's do this 10-gallon next. Ten-gallon pot. Let's get the Tina Pina out. I don't know what I'm going to prune off of it yet. I think same story here. Need to put some in the bottom. I'll be able to put a little more in the bottom of this one. Since we're going up to a 10. Can I get that in there? I like that idea. Let's go ahead and remove this branch. And get it rooting going like that, even though we may put it in the ground in a month and a half. We need to give it a good start. In case for some reason we change our mind, I changed my mind. It's had what it needs done to it. I just kind of bang on it a little bit there. I get to settle in, and now let's put some dirt to it. I don't typically, I'm going to slice that off here in just a minute and put some stuff on it. I didn't want to get the dirt stuck in it. It's easier just to clean it off with a razor knife. Alright, there's my teeny peeny potted up. Let's clean this place off here where we just done an amputation. Just as easy to take my knife. Whoops, well, I guess not, huh? Be careful here, I'll cut myself. We'll just peel a nice little bit off of there and get that clean. I don't want to trap nothing under there. I'm not doing a very good job, am I? All right, got it kind of trimmed down there where it's nice and clean. Let's put a little wax over the wound. And there we go. I could see where glue would be a lot faster. That's for sure. Because you could just squirt it on there. Like I said, I've been doing a few, but I've been a little more particular because this is a variety and I don't have another copy of. So, like I said, I'm going to stick with really what works. Here's this. Let's look at this tree here. We'll prune it up. Okay, this is BA1. Got one coming out of here. I'm going to reach down in here and see if I can get some roots with this. Make a tree out of it. Oh yeah. Texas BA1. Nice tree. Nice little tree. Alright. I'm going to make sure I'm in the camera here. I don't need this under here. Anything that's under here I want to get rid of. Right off the bat. Keep this clean. And I want it to grow like that. So I like the way that side looks. Let's spin it around and look at this side. Now that one there's broke off. Let's nip it. This one here is trying to get going, but this one's a little low. Let's get rid of that. This one's on the back side. Let's get rid of that. You could say that about these two. Definitely this one though. Yeah, that's going to kind of come up this way. I'm all right with that. Let's go with that right there. We'll let this be the style for this tree. Let us add some dirt to the middle. Let's pick up our little cuttings. And I will root those. Now I'm rooting everything I can. So let's throw some dirt on that real quick. And that's all I do for it. If I'm not potting it up, I give it a little more because these things will settle as time goes. Some of it deteriorates, it washes out with water. And I don't typically, when I first up pot one, if it's a small tree, I don't typically completely fill the pot up. I kind of do it this way so I don't have to. And that, then, you know, as they grow, I can add some dirt to the top and it'll grow more fresh roots on top. And then the dirt that I put on top will still, when I water through it, feed what's on bottom. So, or at least that's my thoughts of it anyway, or why I do what I do. So, all right, there we are, and there's a little potting up and pruning for you. All right, got some more here. And I just kind of let these things grow like crazy through the year. This is LSU purple. Some of this out of here. I think what I'm going to do here, I mean, I don't want to repot this. So this is nice. This is okay. This is okay. Let's just do this right here. Oh, that's a lot better. Could get rid of that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I add a little dirt to the pot. Get a label on this. I think she'll be just fine. Here's one. Probably, let's see what it is. Gambino. Well, let's up pot that. I've got a couple of these I'm rooting. Looks like I'm going to get a couple more because this needs to be kind of turned and get rid of all of that and make this our main structure of our tree. It looks like to me. So let's give this tree a real facelift. I might go find a 10-gallon pot. All right, I got me a 10-gallon here. Let's lay our tag up there. Let's pull it out and look at it. And we'll kind of loosen it up a little bit. Since it's not awake, it won't hurt anything. Shake a little of that out. Now, let's prune this thing up here before we even start. We don't need this little thingy here. And really, I think we just want to turn this into one main tree like that. So we don't need none of that. We can just get rid of it. Probably could have got in there and got some root with that. That was my mistake. All right, I like the way that looks. Get some tape on this. Get a label on it. All right. Get our 10-gallon out here. Get some in the bottom here. Gonna have to get a little bit of a slant going in here on one side. So you can see what I'm doing there. That way when I put it in there, it can set kind of sideways and straighten it up. Just like that. Alright, I want to put just a little bit right back here. Fill the rest of that up. You could tease them out. Some people do. I kind of keep them restricted like that. because I still, even though I want them to grow, they need like root restriction to help them fruit. So by doing this, it kind of still does that same kind of choke down to help them fruit. But like I said, you can, and there's guys that open that whole thing up when they redo it like that. And I've got some video where I've washed some down like that and repotted them even when they was fully awake, and they do great like that too. But you can do it like this just the same. All right, Gambino is in its new home. All right, let's see what else here we can prune up. Most of these look like they just need a limb here and a limb there took off, and there's a whole bunch up through here that needs some stuff done to it. Put this back here, move our dirt forward over here out of the way. See what we got in here. There's one that needs a little dirt added to it. See no name. Probably LSU purple. That's okay. Won't matter today. We're gonna prune it. I'm gonna keep these two limbs. I don't need this one back here. Since we don't know what those are, we'll just throw them away. I'll find out what it is with fruits. I lose tags all the time. I'm trying to get better about writing it on the pot. I might ought to go to a hanging tag system. It's probably my weakness is this whole tag deal. What we got here? This needs a lot of pruning. Negra de Ogday. Like I said, I've been writing it on the pots. I'm going to write it on here again. This is a nice 5-gallon of sale, but it definitely needs pruning up. You don't need these at all. Let's get rid of them. These little nubbins off here. Take these two. These bottom ones here. I like the way this up here looks. Let's get rid of these. Even though I'm not gonna pot this up, I'd like to see it turned a little bit in the pot like that. So I'm gonna mess with it a little bit here. Let's get a could almost just put that in a 7-gallon. You know what? Let's do that. Maybe somebody will want a 7-gallon Negra de Ogday. Because I'm going to put a lot of these, since I have them in the ground and they're doing well, I'm going to put a lot of my all the potted, a lot of my potted stuff will go in my nursery for sale. So we'll have, here on site for local pickup, we'll have a bunch of 5- and 7-gallon potted different trees. Like this one here, for example. All right, I like the way that looks. That one was definitely ready for another pot. Try to get the gaps down there filled in. Right. Get it wrote on the pot. Negra, the Ogday, what's right here on the tree as well. Should have been doing it on some of these others. I'll go back and do it as the season goes. It's good to have multiple labels on them, that's for sure. A little bit hard to get in here still. What do we got here? Line purple. And a 7. It just needs pruning. Let's get rid of this. And that. Oh, look at that. We got a tree out of it. Beautiful. We'll add a little bit of top of this. I don't know. If I had some more 10 gallons, I'd probably pot it into a 10 as well. Just put some. Let's get these labeled and put up. I got a couple off of this one last year. I won't pretend to know exactly what it is other than Emma Line's purple. It was pretty good. I don't have anything else like it. Whatever it is, or at least it don't seem that I do. Emma Line's purple. Let's just add some to it this year. I'm about out of dirt. Gonna have to go make up some more dirt. We'll just add to this one for this season. Got some room in the pot there. Probably should get rid of a couple of these lower limbs here. That one, and that one. Get rid of that one. Let's go with that and see how that grows. Emma Line's purple. All right, so I wanted to show this tree here. This is my blue Celeste, and I'm going to rejuvenate prune it. And the reason I'm going to rejuvenate prune it, you see how the bark is it's not healthy. So it's time to just start over. And I already have another tree right here started. And I'm just going to get in here like this and whack it down like that. And get a little lower on this stump here maybe. That'll be good. And that'll be my new tree right there to take over for my blue Celeste. I could do a little pruning. Maybe take these two here out and come up like that. I like that idea. There we go. My new blue Celeste all pruned back. And I'll take some of this upper stuff here on this is healthy. Some of this wood here. So I'm just going to come in about right here and cut this off and root this upper half here. Yeah, it looks good. So I'll just root a couple pieces of this and throw this old bad piece of the tree. It's not healthy. You could probably root it, but when you look, it's pretty not healthy. This tree's about 7 years old. Time for a new one. All right, next batch of trees. Looking at them. This one here don't look too bad. I'm okay with a 3 limb. We'll get rid of this little one down here. They don't know it. It's hard to tell if it's got any root on it, but we'll get that piece there out. I might up pot that tree. It could probably go in a 10-gallon. I don't know if I have. I think I put one of these in a 10-gallon, but it seems like I just up potted one of those, so we'll see. That one there definitely needs some more dirt. Since it's so low, I'm going to kind of really prune it pretty hard and get rid of this and this. Kind of clean it up and just leave it with about 2 limbs and get it repotted. The LSU purple. Got a bad place. We'll cut all that out. Probably cut it plumb down here and let this piece here, this new growth with these reba on top, we'll let them take over. Clean up some of this here on the bottom. Kind of the same thing with that. I'll just probably single trunk this one. It's the LSU purple. I'm gonna repot that sultane there in the bag. I don't like these bags. They just dry out real quick. The trees just don't seem to grow in them as well for me. That's just been my experience. But it's got a bad place here in it, as you can see. Kind of turn it up on its side there. So we're going to prune that out of it. We'll just make this our main tree here. This center piece here. Cut the rest of that off. There's a LSU strawberry. It don't need no pruning. It just needs to be up potted into a 10-gallon. Same as this black manzantina. It needs a little bit cut off of it. That there, and these ones on the inside can come off here. Get it potted up. An LSU purple, boy, it's quite the mess. We'll probably just leave this as the main thing and cut the other stuff off. That one there could use some standing up. We'll pull it out and shake it around and see if we can change it a little bit. All right, so that's the ones we're going to start with. Let's kind of get to it. Find us a good place to work. You know what? Right here is probably about as good a place as you're going to get. Let's start with this little thing here. See what we can do for it. Pull it out of there and let's look at it. Florea. Let's kind of beat some of the dirt off of it. Loosen it up a little bit. I'll tease some of these out just because I want to. I don't always do that, but since I'm going to turn it, I don't know, that's about as nice a tree as you could want right there. This is a lot thicker. You need to eliminate that. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Florea definitely needs that. We'll put a little bit of that back in the bottom. Put a little of that down in there because we've got to get some direction going on here. Yeah, I'm all right with that. All right. Getting a little bit off to one side, but that's okay. As long as it's getting up and down like that, get our tag and put back in there. That just kind of helps it settle. You can see a little bit of root kind of popping up there. We'll add just a little more to it. It'll settle a little more as I water it. That takes care of the porilla. Better pick this up and get a name on it before we get something mixed up, huh? It sure is windy. We've been getting in the upper 90s here in the greenhouse the last several days. Alright, let's try to get this out of here. You know what? I'm not going to use these no more. So I'm just going to cut it off instead of fight with it. They have been good bags. They've lasted quite a while. There. Make it a lot easier getting it off. You know, the upside to it is you don't get a lot of encompassing roots wrapping around or anything like that. There's a big root there kind of wrapping around that it's rooted into the ground, but it does do a good job about root pruning around the edges. This is a sultane. All right, what are we going to make it become? Get rid of this little thing there. Ooh, that don't look good. That don't look good either. See that right there? It'll be all right. We'll clean this out. And we'll put a little wax, grafting wax over it so it can heal. Maybe we keep that whole structure there. Let's cut that little thing off, cut that little thing off. That. So he's going to get rid of this because this bad spot right here. So now we've got rid of that. There's another little piece we don't need. I'm okay with that right there. And we'll kind of put it in a pot about like that. All right. Get these labeled up. It just gets a little better every year. I've only had it for a couple years. I think maybe 3. I'm just now kind of figuring it out. We will be all right. Let's get a little bit of it. A little bit. Here's our tag. Put that back in there. A little grafting wax on that bad spot there. We'll have to kind of monitor that. We'll see how it heals. I'll try to follow up on these ones that I've done this to, but the ones that I've been putting glue on, and kind of examine that. I'm thinking about not doing much with this one other than cutting that out, cutting these off, cutting these little nubbins like this off. I want my energy put into these bigger branches. I don't want that one growing in. Let's just go with that. We'll put a little dirt in it. I might find something I want to up pot a little more, because I've done up potted one of these, so it can stay in there. It don't seem to be too overdone. It's about the right size. It'll put on a decent amount of fruit to restraint it has. Moving right along. OSU purple. I think it just needs a pruning. More than it needs anything. We'll add a little dirt to it. Man, that's got some nice rib on it. You hate to cut that off. Ooh, I don't like this here. It's got that, this is that one's got that bad spot in it. Just cut all of that off. You know what? There's our new tree. That's pretty hardcore, I know, but it's got 3 really nice rib on it. We can add a little dirt to the top of this. Still has a little bit of room for that. We'll get another handful of LSU purple cuttings. All right. That there's ready to go. And a lot of these, I think, especially in these 5-gallon pots, I would prefer to just see them become single stemmed. So there it is, single stem. Let's get rid of that one, and let's get rid of this centerpiece here. I'm good with that. LSU purple. It's got a tag. It's got the name on the pot. We'll wrap up some more cuttings, throw a little dirt in it, and we're on to the next. Alright, this is LSU strawberry. Yeah, there goes a mouse. There's any more living in there. I think the first time I've had that happen. I don't know what it is they're getting in here eating, but they're not killing my trees. The cats didn't keep them out. I think the best thing I have found is put a bar of Irish Spring soap. I didn't do it this year because we had mice last year, but I need to see how bad they was this year without it. And I've seen a lot more mice in here this year than I did last year, but I also got a lot less cats, and the dogs ain't been in here. So gonna add some to the top and add some to the bottom. LSU strawberry. Alright, here's another LSU purple. I think that's gonna be our upright, so we'll just eliminate the rest of it. This one's got a kind of a bad spot right there anyway. I'm okay with that. Add some to the top. Alright. This one needs a 10-gallon pot. Another one that's going to get a different 15-gallon pot. Black Manzantha. Whoops. Alright, let's clean some of this off of here. Really don't want it putting energy into this stuff anyway and growing in and out. I'd rather it be put right there. I'm good with that. Got basically 6 limbs. Got to be on a 10-gallon pot. That's perfect. Don't need those. That looks good. Just clean that stuff off of it. It's kind of like cutting suckers off. You're just kind of pruning some, you know, some of that may not even fruit, where all those limbs that I left on there, every one of them will load up with fruit. And on my potted ones, I try to prune a little bit for Breva, if you know, to see if they maybe will have Breva or not. I don't worry about Breva with my in-grounds because I have to prune them hard to protect them. When these here, I don't. I can just lay them over. And it looks like it's got some, what may be Breva on it. Definitely had a mouse living in it. There's his house. Okay, we're gonna shake it out a little bit. Got some of that excess on there. That'll loosen some of the roots up. All right, let's add it to a 10-gallon. Got a couple inches put down in the bottom of it. A little bit more here. Right. Make sure we got our name wrote on here. Make sure it don't say something else on the pot, because it does. Need to mark that out. Write it up here. And I'll put it on the pot as well. Right. We'll just set this one right back here that way. See what we might do with old Borel here. Take a few cuttings off of her. This one back here in the back is junk. Might root these. I'm okay with that. Let's get rid of these. This thing there can go. This little thing here can go. I'm satisfied. Got a couple. I am going to pull it out here. Got quite a bit of root in it. We could probably just put that in 7 gallon. See here, we'll have to, here's a nice 7 gallon we just was using for something else. Now we can use it for this. Get my cuttings labeled here. They're not stuff that I would sell to anybody. That's for sure. But I root them. I kind of like to sell everybody. I let everybody else have all my premium cuttings, and then I get what's left. I'm okay with that. That had some dirt in it, quite a bit of dirt in there. Probably a good thing I shook some of that out. Alright, try to straighten it out there a little bit. Yeah, that's more like it. And largely whatever I just shake off can just become part of my floor here. It don't hurt anything. Gives it a little, maybe a little more nutrients here and there, left over from the pots. All right. Or really, let's make sure we don't have no label confusion. We got to mark this off here. Don't want to leave that old name on there. All right. Come over here and write it on the side of the pot. Really. And that's spelled B-O-R-E-A-L-E. Borelli. 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 Yeah, I don't know. I'm not always real good at pronouncing things. All right, we'll move on up here a little bit. This is what my fig shuffle's like. Yeah, so that's the fig shuffle for me. Do this side over here. It's still pretty warm in here. It got up to about 93 in here today. It's still in the 60s. So we get the lid on them while it's in the 60s. And it just helps a lot. Helps hold a lot of that heat in there. I think the low tonight is 28. So the boxes will stay well into the 40s. And we just, you know, gain a little bit of heat hours. Help get them waking up. So that's what the fig shuffle looks like day and night right now.